What's up, guys? We hit the 100 like goal on the 100 mil setup build. So I'm going to walk you through how to set up your own $100 million lab. Now, it's pretty straightforward actually. The first thing we're going to do is set up the docks. Now, obviously your first step is you're going to want 10 chemists. All right, once you got your army of chemists, walking in the door is now time to place down the beds. We're going to assign them all beds first. As long as we can get 10 beds upstairs, it doesn't really matter how you lay them out. We're not going to be using this upstairs section, so just make sure you get 10 beds down in here. We will go into a bit more intricate placing for... I'll put 11 down actually, one for me. So I just use this bed here, I'll leave that unassigned, and then I'll assign the rest of them. Hands down, my least favorite activity is assigning beds, so I'm just going to run through it really quick. Now this would be a good time to add lights in. I'm probably going to put some just wall lights around the place. You don't have to. Lights is a totally optional thing. You can just turn the lights on and it's going to give you pretty adequate lighting in here. But if you're like me, you just like things to be a little bit brighter, I'm going to do that. Anywhere between 20 and 30 lights is going to be plenty. It doesn't really matter where you put them. I'm not mucking around with the rotation. I'm just going to put them in the dark corners. Another good strategy you can do is wait for nightfall, and then you can just find where it's the darkest, like where the dark spots are, you know, and then you can go around placing them in the darkest spots of the docks. Okay, so lights are placed. Now I'm just going to clean up the place. Once you have cleaned up the surrounding area and it's looking nicely well lit with all your beds placed and your chemists assigned, we're going to get into the main kit and caboodle of the whole operation and just place down some large storage racks. Okay, so we're going to be putting in 30 large storage racks, and you just want to make sure as you put these in. So how we want to lay these out is we just want the first one overhanging one square like that. That gives us access to the save button, and what we're going to do is it creates a little bit of a channel for our employees to walk through. So we're kind of like shepherding them in, and we just want to make sure we get 5 on each side like such, and we have a nice walkway, and it should look like this. It should open up for us, and we have these staggered as well so the employees can reach them without any problems. The further over this way the better, because we're going to get lab ovens against these walls a bit later. So that is how we're going to set these up. Just a nice little walkway that we and our employees can fit through. And we'll just place down the rest of the large storage racks. I'm just going to put 10 on each side, hard up against this pillar, and just build 10 out. And then we're going to get something that's looking like this. And we're going to do the exact same on this side here. As long as my eyes aren't deceiving me. Yep, that is exactly what we're going to do. Beautiful. Okay, now it is time to build the large center island. Now we just want to place these out so we have a walkway between them, and we want to follow this. So you can kind of see what we're going for here. We're kind of going for allowing a movement path, and we want these facing away from one another, just like such. And we want to build 4 out, all facing away from each other, and that's going to give us a nice little channel with a healthy gap on the end. And while we're on this section here, we're going to also build 4 out. We probably want to bring these over just a little bit so there's a nice healthy gap between the storage racks here, and there's a walking gap between these two here, and we're just going to build this 4 out like such. And then that's going to be the back row, all complete. And then really easily, we're just going to continue that pattern and see how we're just leaving a nice gap, and then we're pretty much going to mimic these 4 over here, and just build 4 out like such, facing these chemistry stations here. We're just going to keep it in line so you can see the walkway, what we're going for here. 2, 3, 4, and there we go. That is 20 chemistry sets laid out. I'll just give you a quick look from above what that is going to look like for you. That's what it should roughly look like. We have the T intersection here, and then 2 large channels floating down the side. Now we're going to be put into the lab ovens. We're going to start in the corner. Let's look at the nice healthy gap we left us before. And we're going to be placing our lab ovens, 2 lab ovens like such, and then the other 2 are going to go right here. And exactly the same on the other side. And these are the lab ovens for our side center islands, which is these 4 here. So we've now placed lab ovens for those 4 chemistry stations, these 4 chemistry stations. So that's all taken care of. Now we have the big island in the middle that we want to place 4, and then the 4 along the side. So we'll start with the 4 along the side. Is really easy. We just want to mimic pretty much exactly what we see there, just along the back of this wall here. Just like such, so we have a nice walkway. And then for the middle 8, we're going to put 1 here, and then we're just going to run across the back wall with the remaining 8 lab ovens. And there you go. We have our 8 for the middle, 4 for this island here, 4 for that island, and then 4 for that island. Okay? Now, for everyone's favorite part, let's start assigning chemists. Now, it's really easy. For the first 2 chemists, we're basically just going to assign them the 4... Actually, no, sorry, I made a mistake. So, for your first chemist, you want to assign them 1 row, right? So, 1 row of 4. You don't want to do these 2 because he's going to have to walk around. You want 1, 4 across here. So, 1 chemist, 2 chemists, 3 chemists, 4 chemists, 5 chemists, okay? Pretty straightforward. And for the second chemist, we're just going to go on the other side of the center island and assign him 4 chemistry stations. Third chemist is going to be assigned these 4 chemistry stations. Fourth chemist is going to be assigned these 4 chemistry stations. Fifth chemist is going to be assigned these 4 chemistry stations here. And while we're on chemistry stations, what we're going to do is we're just going to select every single chemistry station by clicking on it, running around, make sure that we're managing 20 chemistry stations. Ooh. And we press E and we select the recipe like that. Cool. Now, I suppose while we're here, we can assign the destinations. Now, it's really easy. We're just going to select the chemistry station and we're just going to go how we laid it out before. Ooh. Select the destination to 2 and just make sure these are assigned. And then this is going to go to this one, to this one. Okay, so these 4 are now assigned to their lab ovens, which is good. I suppose we'll just do these ones as well. We want to select the destination for these. Make sure we cancel out of it as we do it. So that's assigned to those 2. And the third one is going to go here, and the fourth one is going to go there. Now the back row is really easy. We're just going to do practically the opposite one, so that's really easy. So we know we're on 3 now. That's just going to go to number 3, and then the fourth one is going to go to 4th like that. And then we've got the middle 8. We're just going to start assigning them. So just on the end there. So we're just keeping track. 1. This is 2. 2. Now we're on to 3. 3. Halfway there. 4. 4. And then I find it easier if we just go back to the start and we just go 1. 1. 2. 2. 3. 3. 4. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice. And that's all of the lab ovens and chemistry stations should be assigned. Just do a quick run around. Just make sure everything's got a dotted arrow on it. You haven't missed anything. Great. Now this is going to be probably the trickier part. We're going to do the lab ovens to the thingies, to the large storage racks. So while we're here, because we have 20 lab ovens and 10 large storage racks, we're going to have to do 2 lab ovens per storage rack. So that's pretty easy. What we can do is we can just manage 2 lab ovens, select the destination and just go 1 like that. And then we can go to the next one, manage 2 lab ovens, select the destination to 2. So we remember 2. Now let's go to these ones here. This can go to, these ones here. This can go to 3. And then the last one can go to 4. 4. And then we can just grab 2 from here and that can go to 5. I'm just going to reassign these 2 just to make sure I got that correct. This should be, so it goes 1, 2, this should be 3, like so. And then this should be 4. This should be 4. I'm just double checking that I got this right. This should be 4, and then the last 2 should be 5. This goes to 5. 5, okay. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm pretty much just going to do it in reverse order now. So these two are going to go to 1 on this side. These 2 are going to go to 2. These 2 are going to go to 3. Then we got 4 to 4. And the last 2 are going to go to 5. Okay, and we're just going to make sure all of these lab ovens now have a destination. I'm pretty satisfied that they're going to go into the same, into their right, evenly divided racks. And if it doesn't, guys, it's not that hard to reassign them, so just reassign them if you need to. Okay, time for the lab oven chemists. Now this is going to be pretty straightforward, pretty much similar to what we have done. We're just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, done. And then go to the next chemist. We're just going to do the opposing ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, pretty much done. Now I'm just going to select one chemist and just do the back row. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're just going to do half of the back row. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go to the last chemist. 3, 4. And there we go. That is all of our lab ovens and chemistry stations are assigned. Now, if you have any questions about what these are for, now, if you're going to be running this in your game, obviously these are going to be filled with your end product. These are what I would call your surplus oversupply shelves. Now, you've got 10 on each side, okay? Each rack represents one chemistry station. So you can start trying to fill all of these up with pseudo, acid, and phosphorus, just so when your chemistry stations do run out, you're going to have a surplus supply to fill them up. You don't have to, but they're there if you want to. Now, pretty much all that's left to do would be fill up all of your chemistry stations, and we're going to be doing that right now. Okay, fantastic. Now, once you have filled up all of your acid, phosphorus, and pseudo, that's pretty much 2.5 inventories of each ingredient, and you've got 10 in each. That is going to be 100 bricks of raw product total. Pretty much all that's left to do now is to pay the employees. So I'm just going to be I'm just going to fill up all their briefcases just because we can at the moment, and then we're going to go straight to bed. Actually, the better thing for you to do right now would be wait for them to turn on all of their chemistry stations and then go to bed. And that's just going to quickly fast forward the first cycle. Now you can see my bed layout's changed. Don't worry about that. Just going to wait for all of these chemistry stations to turn on. Great, now once all of your chemistry stations are turned on, we're just going to go to bed. Wake up the next morning. Have a look outside. They're all going to come in and turn on the lab ovens. Cool, so just going to have a walk around and make sure all of these lab ovens are on. Looks pretty good to me. Excellent. Now, I'm pretty satisfied that this is cooking and we've set the destinations correctly to all of these shelves. Feel free to double check and hang around for a bit if you like. But if you're confident that you did things correctly, then we're just going to head straight over to the barn and set up the second stage of this process. So same as last time, guys, we want to make sure we have all of our employees, which is going to be 8 handlers and 2 chemists, and we're just going to go upstairs and place their beds. That is the layout that you want if you want 9 beds upstairs, and then for the last 2, I am going to be putting one down in the corner like so, and the other one down there as well. And that is going to be your last employee and your bed there. Now let's get straight into assigning our chemists and handlers their beds. Excellent, once you have assigned all of your employees' beds, let's get placing our large storage racks. So we're just going to place 4 in the middle of this square here, and these are going to be your inputs. So this is going to be the input to your mixing stations, and we're going to go to the opposing squares. We're just going to make sure we get 4 nicely in the middle, and that's going to be your outputs there, okay? And then we want to place 2 mixers pretty much right in front of the door, like so. We're just going to leave a little bit of a gap between them, like such, and then we're going to put 1 here. We can actually move this in a little bit, about here, 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 and here, okay? And that's going to be our 8, all right? So we've got 4 here, 2 here, and 2 here. All right, nice little triangular formation. Now for the remaining 32 large storage racks, we're just going to do a similar setup. We're going to place 4 in the middle there. 1, 2, 3, 4 in the middle like such. We might need to actually squeeze a little bit more in there. So what we're going to do is we're just going to fix that up, guys. I'm going from memory here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to come over just a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that. And then we're going to get 4 in here as well. Okay. Now, for sake of design, I'm just going to even these out a little bit just so they look nicer. But you want 2 rows of 4 of 4. You know what I mean? Okay, that's going to be good enough for me. As long as you got 4 lots of 4, and then we can just mirror them down the back here as well. 2, 3, 4. As long as there's a nice little gap that we can walk between. It doesn't really matter how these are laid out. Your handlers are going to be taking care of these. Alright, so that's going to be the 4 laid out. Now remember guys, you will need to be restocking these, so if you want to pull them forward, if you want to move them around a little bit, that's totally up to you. The reason why I have them back here is just so we can start putting large, or wooden signs on here. Now this could be a good time to put some lights up if you want as well. So if you have your lights now, it would be time to go into the dark sections of the room. And again, I'm just placing these rudimentally where it's really dark, just so we can make things a bit nicer. That's a lot better. And now we're just going to start placing our signs. So this will be step 1, which for me is going to be motoroil. Coke is going to be stage 2. Paracetamol into gasoline. And we're going to go right back to the start here. This is going to be stage 5. There you go. Horse for stage 5. Coke for stage 6. Mega bean for 7. And then of course, battery for 8. And there you go, should be really easy. So we've got motoroil stage 1, Coke stage 2, Paracetamol stage 3, gasoline stage 4, and we've got horse for stage 5, Coke for stage 6, and so forth. Alright, looks pretty good to me. Now the first thing we're going to do is assign our chemists to their mixing stations. Now the order that I like to go in is I'm going to go for step 1 here, this will be step 2, then this is going to be step 3, okay, and then this will be step 4, and then this here is step 5. So I want to assign the first chemist step 1, step 3, and step 5, and then step 6. Okay, so we're just skipping ones, and then for the next one, we're going to fill in the gaps. For the second chemist, we're going to fill the gaps. He's going to be stage 2, or step 2, stage 3, stage 4, oh, is that stage 5? I think it might have been stage... yes, so these two need to be swapped over. So just to reiterate, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, okay? And it's corresponding like such. So she goes to 1, she skips 2, goes to 3, skips 4, goes to 5, skips 6, goes to 7, and then he goes 2 to 4 to 6, no, 2 to 4, sorry, so he goes 2, 3 to 4, 5 to 6 to 7, okay? Or to 8, sorry, to 8. Yeah, so you just want to stagger them one by one. Sorry, a bit of a brain fart there, but I hope that makes sense. You just skip the next stage and then they go, so it's kind of like they're threaded. Now here's for the fun part. We're going to start with the handlers and we're just going to go down the line and we're going to be signing stage 1, all four of the, so we're going to go into his routes option, we're going to add new, and we're going to see these 4 shelves, these will all be assigned to step 1. So that's really easy. We'll just go over to 1, and we do the same until he has all 4 of these storage racks assigned to step 1. Oops, cancelled out of it. So this is 3. This goes to step 1. Then 4 to step 1 again. Nice. Now my OCD, I just have to completely do that again just to ensure that I got it correct. Okay, and now we go on to the next handler and we're just going to do this exact same thing but with the second stage, and we're going to go that to stage 2. And while we actually got these in mind, so we know this is step 1 and we know he is step 2. So we're just going to assign him his last step 2 to step 2. And then while we have it in mind, let's go back to stage 1. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to select this one here. That's going to be number 1, okay? And then we're just going to select that to the first mixer, okay? So we know now he is number 1 because he's fully assigned, and he is number 2. So we're going to select him, his 5th route from number 2 to the first mixer, okay? And we're going to do that for the first 4 stages. We'll be assigning, using their 5th route to assign each one of these storage racks to the stage 1. So we're now onto the 3rd handler. So we're going to 3rd here to 3rd here. Then 2nd to 3rd. 3, 3, 4, 4. And then we're going to do his 3rd one. So we've done 2. This is 3. And that's going to go to the first one there. Now this can be our 4th handler. And of course we're going to go 1, 2. So this is 4 here. 2, 4, 3, 4, and then 4, 4. Then the last route is going to be this one here to this one here. Okay, now we're onto the 5th handler, and we know that we're now onto the 2nd half. So we go 1, and that is going to go. So we've done 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this is 5, remember? And then we do it again, and we're going to go to the 2nd shelf. That's going to go to 5. 3rd shelf to 5. 4th shelf to 5. And then finally, now we're going to select this, and we're going to select stage 8. Stage 8. And we're going to do the exact same things we did. So we know this here is number 1. There we go. And that's just going to finish off the circuit there. And we're going to do that for the next 4 as well. So we know this is done. This is going to be number 2. So this is going to be 6. So we go to step 1, 6. So we know this is 6 here. 2. To 6. 3. To 6. 4 to 6, and then we're doing the last chemistry station, or last mixing station to 2 as well there, okay? And now we're going to 7. 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, and then again this one here is going to now the 3rd rack. Okay, and now for our last one, the last 4 to stage 8. And then the last rack goes to 8 as well. And then finally, this goes to the last. Now, I know that was a bit of a maze, but I'll just explain it to you so you do. If you didn't follow that step by step, I'll just explain to you how it's done. So we want the first 4 handlers that are routing all of these shelves here onto the first 4 mixers. So we've got stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, and stage 4. We've got 1, 2, 3, and 4 here. So all of those racks, we're using one handler to route them here. All of the second 4 of the racks, we're routing them here. The third 4 of the racks, we're routing them here. Fourth 4, we're routing them there. And then with those 4 handlers we've just used, we're using their last available route to assign each one of these large storage racks to the first mixer. And that's just going to feed everything that we put here into the machine, and that's going to continue the flow. And then we're going to do the exact same for the second 4, but instead of the first one, we're going to be assigning those 4 to number 5, the second 4 to number 6, the third 4 to number 7, the fourth 4 to number 8. And we're going to be using each one of their spare routes to assign this mixer to the large storage rack And then, yeah, so we have 4 different routes across all of the 4 spare handlers to assign this mixer to this large storage rack. So it's nice and evenly divided. I think that's clear enough, guys. Now, the last thing we need to do is select the destinations. So this one here is going to go here, obviously. This destination here is going to go here. This destination here goes here. And this one here to 5. This one here to 6. This one here to 7. Here to 8. And then we're not setting a destination for that one. Well, that's already taken care of. Now, all that would be left to do would be to run the mix ourselves. So here's what we want. We want to make sure that we get 1 of each ingredient into our inventory. We have 8 slots on our inventory, so that works out really well. And here I have 1 product of what we're going to be mixing. So we're going to put that into the mixer, and then I'm going to get 1 of each stage. So first and foremost, it's going to be motoroil. And then we're just going to place that in, and we're going to start the mix. And then we're going to do the second step. That's Coke. So we take that out, and we're just going to name this stage 1. And we're putting that back in. And here we go. This is stage 2. Take that out, and it goes. And this is going to be stage 3. And then it goes back in again. This is going to be stage 4. It's going to go back in again. Stage 5. That comes out, goes back in again. This is going to be stage 6. Comes out, goes back in again. Stage 7. Comes out, goes back in again. Now you might be wondering, why do we name them stage this, stage that? Because if we go like this, name already exists, so it keeps track of exactly what step we're on, so we know if we made a mistake somewhere along the line, where we made the mistake. And there you go. You need to discover the mix. You need to do the mix manually yourself first before your chemists are able to do it. Your chemists cannot discover new mixes for you. So you have to get all of the ingredients and do one mix yourself first before your chemist will do it. Now I'm going to spend the long and arduous process of filling up all of the storage racks with mixes. Good thing you only have to do this once every 32 bricks. Locked and loaded. That is all of the supply shelves full. Now I bet if we go back to the docks, we're going to have a pretty little surprise waiting for us. Who would have thought the Mega Lab is producing? Now what we can do just to check that we've assigned all of these lab ovens evenly. That's excellent. So there's no mismatch. They all have an even amount of product in the shelves. If there is an uneven amount, if let's say this has 20 more and this has 20 less, you know you've made a mistake somewhere along the lab ovens, and that's going to be important to fix because this is all evenly designed. Once all of these storage racks are full, there's going to be no more spaces for your chemistry set. So just make sure they're evenly assigned. Now here would be the job of ferrying these to the barn. So you'd have a van full, an inventory full, and you'd have a bunch left as well. Now let me run this to the barn. Now it doesn't need to be evenly distributed. You can put all of them into one shelf if you want. And then what I would do right now would just pay the employees and get this started working straight away. And there you go, guys, you're in business. This is functioning. Now you're not under any time constraints. This is not going to get out ahead of you. Now it's just slowly just start bringing the product over until you get until all of these are full. And once all of these are full, guys, that's when you know that it's time to restock the shelves. So hopefully your dealers have sold a bit of product by then and you can make a bit of money and then you can start ordering. If you had the money, I would start ordering now. So I know this is what 160, 320, 640 motor oil. So what I would do is I'd just open up the delivery app. I would go into West and I'd order the first lot of motor oil 160, or let's see if we can get 320 on there to the barn loading dock 1. So we can get 320. So that's one there, and then we'd go loading dock 2. And then we'll just order another from the central store. 320. Loading dock 2 of the barn. And there you go, guys. That's your first shelf already preloaded. Now, all you need to do is just wait until it runs out. And once it runs out, you empty the 2 vans, put it in there. This will still be running, by the way. This will still be running. And then you order the next 2. There's only going to be about an half a game in days gap between each shelf full. So this is a really fast way to do it. You got to remember, all those shells won't run out at the same time because the mixing process is some product is ahead of the others. Your motor oil will obviously be the first shelves to deplete, and once those is depleted completely, then your Coke will start to will just about be ready to deplete as well. It's going to give you a decent buffer time to place these orders before so production isn't really going to stop at all or for a massive amount of time. And you can also just drive to that gas mart just down the road if you want to stay ahead of it even more. So here we are, just grabbing the rest of the product, and we're going to feed these into the last of our mixing step and just ensure that's running correctly before I leave you. And there you go, guys. All the shelves are full. We should have mixers. Yep, 2 mixers popping up now. So they're going to be taking this and putting them onto the next stage, working pretty much in sync with one another. And she's going to go back to stage 1. He's going to come back to stage 2, put these on. And there you go, guys. It's going to flow now evenly into your large storage racks. And again, we've got a bit of a surplus in our inventory. Now, if I was you and I was in this stage of the game, I would be packaging this and selling it myself. I'd be running around and selling it and just coming back here momentarily just to check all of the surplus. You can sell it if you want. You can mix it, do what you want. You can wait, however you want to do it, guys. And then once this is all done, all you need to do is just then press all of these shelves into bricks. You could even just put a little brick press right there and then just take it in there, put it in there, press your brick, put it in the van, and off you go. Really easy, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. I love you. Thank you so much for watching. Seriously, it means the world to me. If this has helped you out in any way, please let me know down in the comments below, or just leave a like on the video. A subscribe also lets me know that you want to see more from me, and hitting that bell icon will let you know every time that I upload. Warning, I might upload a lot. So that's going to be it from me today. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, guys, I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.